Physical versus digital gaming has been a long-running discussion point on my channel, so in between larger video projects I thought it would be fun to give you a glimpse of what physical game hunting and collecting is like here in the UK. Especially as only 12% of my viewers are from Old Blighty, making this a foreign experience for 88% of you. Make sure that you stick around to the end of the video to see what I bought. This video focuses on the nearby town of Trowbridge and the multiple game stores you can, at the time of recording at least, find there. Hold on to that thought because, wow, the state of the UK market is worsening. Generally, I'll hunt anywhere within a 1 hour train ride of my house. For £5 to £15 return fare, I can easily get to Bristol, Bath, Swindon or Reading, as well as smaller towns in between. And that's probably the first culture shock for the 48% of American viewers. We have comparatively much more public transport, and we don't have to travel too far on this small island to find some games. Our first stop may seem strange, but fresh off the train we encounter Asda, the UK equivalent of Walmart. I think it's actually owned by Walmart now, as some of the bigger stores have displayed Walmart logos. They rarely have a big selection, but Asda offers new, sealed games at below RRP, often cheaper than the digital storefronts by £10 to £15. While I didn't encounter one on this trip, Asda often has clearance bins where new, sealed titles from as recently as 3 months ago can be reduced down to as little as £5. That's how I got Hot Wheels Unleashed super cheap just 6 months after launch. Directly to the right of Asda's entrance is the Shires Mall, where we're going to spend most of our time. This mall, at the time of recording, has 3 video game stores, and we're going to explore all of them. First up is Planet Games, which is... closed. I'm here on a Sunday, I'm at work during their weekday opening hours, and the kids usually have clubs on Saturdays, meaning I really only have Sundays free. I came back another day for this footage. 1/3 of the store is dedicated to DVDs, Blu-rays, Funko Pops, and BB guns. The other 2/3 are what we're here for. There's a decent selection of games from Master System through to PlayStation 5 at fairly standard and reasonable prices. One thing I'm mixed on is how their pricing labels are designed. Their pre-owned games show the assumed price a game would have been when it was new, and then its current pre-owned price to try and make it seem like a better deal than it perhaps is. I also have to flag that Planet Games Trowbridge recently had a change in staff. The guys who used to work here were very knowledgeable and friendly. The new guys seem personable, talkative, and well-meaning, but the local gaming community has been reporting that they've been spotting fake Pokemon GBA cartridges and trading cards in store since it changed hands. Planet Games is a local franchise with stores across Wiltshire, Somerset, and Gloucestershire, so if you're a UK viewer, you might have one of these in your area. Okay, 2 shops down, 6 to go. Before we head into the next store, did you know that most viewers decide whether they're going to watch a video within the first 30 seconds? We're well past that threshold now, so if you're enjoying this, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps out the channel, which has over 10 years of content for you to explore. I also have a Discord and Patreon, links in the description. Shoutouts to Crow and Tiny Jericho for their support. Back to that original Sunday, directly opposite Planet Games is CEX. This is a massive chain with shops all over the country, and man, does it have a reputation. They have a huge selection, but condition is a crapshoot, with CEX even reprinting covers for some games, while pricing varies wildly between absolute bargain and complete extortion. Retro games are usually in glass cabinets around the edge of the store. Some franchise owners are sensible and put price stickers for boxed N64 games on plastic plinths in front of the game, while chaotic evil incarnations of CEX put that sticker right on the box, which can be hard to remove without damaging the artwork. While Trowbridge generally seems okay, experiences at other CEX stores have shown that not all of the staff are gaming enthusiasts and might not know how to handle retro games. We're talking Platinum or Game of the Year edition discs in standard launch edition cases. Full-on repro carts being sold as if they were genuine, and even consoles being banned or blacklisted because it turned out the goods were stolen. Granted, that could happen anywhere, and it's more on the thief who sold it than CEX themselves, but the UK gaming community refers to CEX as a roulette wheel for a reason. What's convenient for some and frustrating for others is that CEX publish their sale, cash, and trade-in prices on their website. Sure, this can save you a wasted trip as you can check your game's value at home before going to the store, but it has also homogenized UK game pricing. Other shops, eBay sellers, and Facebook Marketplace sellers regularly look their games up on CEX's website and price their games at more or less the same figure. It takes a lot of excitement out of the hunt when pricing has been standardized like that. I'll briefly mention charity shops here. These are places selling donated goods. You can sometimes find games mixed in with the Blu-ray movies or music CDs. It's very hit or miss though, and it's generally stuff that, due to quality or being FIFA, game shops refuse to take. I did have one good find recently though, which I'll show at the end. Moving on, we have Game, our equivalent to GameStop. It's getting rarer to see standalone game stores as they were bought out by the owners of Sports Direct, with most game stores closing and becoming kiosks inside their local Sports Direct instead. While Trowbridge has a Sports Direct, it's also having a closing down sale, so this game is still open for now. A closing down sign recently appeared on Game's store, and I've learned that Trowbridge's Sports Direct is being relocated, with Game set to become a kiosk inside. Press F and all that. That also explains why Game's Everything Must Go closing down sale actually doesn't see a single reduction outside of the nationwide sale that every game store is participating in. Since the Sports Direct acquisition and the increasing rise of digital distribution on consoles, Game has become a toy store, with only a quarter of the shop floor actually housing video games. It's sad to see everything just shoved over to a single wall like this. Game also have a habit of selling new games as open instead of sealed. Generally speaking, they gut the last copy of a game, taking out the disc and any manuals or codes, to use that case as the display one. If you're buying their last copy of a game, guts get sold last, and that's what you'll be given. Staff can also take games home with them, so it's not uncommon to pay new prices for a game that has been played, potentially with the codes having already been redeemed, essentially making it a very expensive pre-owned copy. On the plus side, the staff at the Trowbridge store are friendly, genuinely enjoy games, and I hope this relocation doesn't impact their jobs. We're going across the street now to Castle Place, Trowbridge's other mall. We come in the front entrance and down the escalators to find... oh, the market is closed on Sundays. Let's try that again on a weekday. This market recently saw a small game shop open up. As you can see, it's a bit more flea market in vibe, with stuff just kind of shoved in. Prices and conditions vary wildly here, and while I was initially going to call these prices high, on further inspection it turns out a lot of games have just soared in value. I'm glad I got my Spider-Man games much cheaper than this years ago. You do have to be willing to dig around to find the good stuff, and the guy working here, who I assume is the owner, has yet to say more than 2 words to me, but it is another option, an independent one at that, so I'm not going to complain. I'm also worried that this store's life may be cut short due to factors beyond their control. This market is sadly mostly empty. The mall has recently been sold to developers who haven't announced their plans, although locals suspect it will be turned into flats and apartments, and the mall's biggest store, Wilko, has recently gone into administration, seeking buyers to rescue the entire chain. This gaming stall might be forced to close or move in the near future, so if you're local to the area, get down there and check it out now while you still can. Our penultimate stop is another supermarket, Tesco. Tesco have recently followed in newsagent W.H. Smith's footsteps, announcing that they will no longer be selling physical games. They will only stock digital wallet codes for PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo's online stores. So, this sad selection of titles you see here are the last box games that Tesco will ever sell. Finally, we have Argos. For those outside the UK, Argos doesn't have stock on the shelves. Instead, there's a series of digital terminals acting as catalogues where you choose what you want. You then go to a counter where a member of staff pulls the item out of what's essentially a warehouse out back. It's just not the same experience. That said, there's an Argos a 15-minute walk from my house that usually has plenty of stock of new games on release day at below RRP, so I often go on their website, order a game for click and collect, then walk down there rather than browsing in store. Now, Trowbridge is only one of multiple options for local towns and cities that I can go game hunting in, but it shows a lot of the pros and cons of the current physical gaming landscape. Many of the stores I visited in this video have a massive asterisk next to them. Game is relocating, Castle Place is likely going to close its doors, and Tesco are getting out of the box games market. Planet Games and Castle Place's market are now closed on Sundays when I'm most able to get into town. CEX have homogenized pricing, removing a lot of the thrill of the hunt, and Argos is just a terminal that fails to deliver the experience of finding surprises. It's very apparent that cries across the UK of our high streets dying aren't just hyperbole. Our options are decreasing, and we're increasingly being pushed towards the eBay dartboard, where games advertised as scratch-free turn up with a gash that makes the disc unreadable. That said, there are a lot of other stores I could highlight, including the amazing two-story behemoth that is Retro Games HQ in Swindon. Let me know if you want to see more videos highlighting UK game stores, and if the demand is there, I'll provide it. All said and done, what did I actually buy? These are from a couple of different trips, but I've been on a rhythm game kick lately and was pleasantly surprised at what I came across. My Xbox 360 Guitar Hero controller broke, so I've replaced it with a PS3 one, coming across a bundle deal that included a working guitar in pristine condition with the all-important wireless dongle and Guitar Heroes Aerosmith and Warriors of Rock. I then started replacing my Xbox 360 Guitar Hero and Rock Band games with their PS3 versions. I need to grab Rock Bands 2 and 3, but I mainly have the ones I want now. I was very pleasantly surprised by Greatest Hits, a game that provides some of the best tracks from Guitar Hero 1, 2, and low-key the best and most underrated entry, Rocks the 80s, for, at the time, modern platforms. While it has some songs that are duplicates from Guitar Hero 3 and Aerosmith, I can now play my favourite tracks on one platform. While it's not a game, I popped into Trowbridge's Waterstones, a UK bookstore chain, and picked up the Spider-Man Fake Red manga. I love a good Spider-Man comic, something we've been sorely lacking for a while now.
How does that make you feel?
So this manga has been exactly what I've been missing. Don't skip it, it's a fantastic story with awesome artwork. I have to give my mum credit for my wildest find, Donkey Konga 2, boxed with the bongos for £17. She found it in a charity shop when she visited recently, and I immediately bought it. I've since tracked down Donkey Konga 1, as well as putting the Japanese versions of the trilogy on my SD to SP2. It's quickly become a title that the whole family can enjoy. Now on to obscure third-person shooters. Triggerman was an £8 buy that came to my attention after my friend Tesnakerer streamed it. I've been on the lookout for a copy ever since, and I'm glad to have tracked one down. Infernal is an Xbox 360 console exclusive that I had never heard of before my friend Terry mentioned it. As you can see, this is 100% the CEX roulette in action. Thankfully, I had a spare 360 case lying around, so it looks much cleaner now. I need to give this impulse buy a proper playthrough, but it seems like exactly the kind of B-game jank that I vibe with. I think Triggerman and Infernal are great examples of why I game hunt in person rather than going to eBay. They are cheap, sod it why not finds that you just wouldn't come across otherwise. Online, you need to put the game you're looking for into the search bar. In a physical store, a random game can catch your eye, and you might just accidentally find your next favourite. It's an experience I hope I can continue to have, even as the all-digital future forces its way in the front door. Anyway, that's what game hunting looks like in the UK. Let me know if you want to see some of my other local options. I also travel further afield to visit friends and family or attend conventions, so there are a lot of places I would love to give a spotlight to. Likewise, if any of the games I picked up seem interesting and you want a full review of them, let me know. Subscribe to the channel to ensure you see those.